Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. We back. We back. We back, man. Y'all boy, you know it's going for the gusto. It's the podcast, baby. We back. I got my boy Cool with me, man. We chilling, fresh off of work. Trying to just bring this content to y'all, man. How you feeling, bro?
Man, it's good to be back, dude. We've been gone for a while, man. Been gone for a while, man. Let's bring some good content to these people fresh off the clock. Don't brush some of that dust off me, so I'm ready to get on this fast, man. I'm ready to get on this cast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. First and foremost, always shout out to the squad. For whoever couldn't be here, man. The squad, man. We gonna have it soon. We gonna get the whole squad back together, man, so we can drop something nice for y'all, man. So without any further ado, me and my bro, we gonna bring y'all three different things. You know, three different things we've been talking about. That kind of we've been seeing coming up. And then we actually got a little twist, like try to be a little different. So the
Always.
first thing is the gambling. We started seeing it 2 years ago. Now it's getting out of control. Players just gambling. They're getting caught, getting suspended. So that's a big thing in the news right now. And then so we wanted to talk about NFC versus AFC, but rather than just talking about the teams or the quarterbacks, we wanted to talk about D line, the trenches, like who y'all feel, which conference brings the better D line, to the game, because at the end of the day, no matter how you slice football, it's always one in the trenches.
Yeah, now we talking about something.
Yeah, yes, sir. And then
Yeah.
and we're gonna finish it off with how do y'all or how do we feel safeties, whether free safety, strong safety, how much respect do they get in the league, and are they on the same level as some of their contemporaries, like certain linebackers or cornerbacks or pass rushers? Do they get the same kind of love? So that's the three things. So we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. And I'm gonna start with you, man. How you feel about the gambling, man? It was like 6 other players, I think, got caught like yesterday or something.
Man, I saw like at least three other people got caught 2 weeks ago. I saw that as soon as I came back from my trip from overseas. I said, "What are these people doing?" Like, I don't even understand. I don't get the logic of gambling. If the amount of money that they're making is not, it's not worth the reward that they're getting if they win the bet anyway. Like, dude, they're not high dollar bets. They're not
Right.
making big dollar bets like they're making $1 million bets and stuff. Like they're making some scrimmage scrub behind bets.
What they probably end up doing though is they probably get caught when they make the big bet. So they probably be gambling all the time.
Little stuff.
Yeah, yeah, just easing their way up the totem pole, and then they been like, "Oh, ain't nobody worrying about me now because so and so got caught," and then that's when they get caught.
I mean, to me personally, I'm just like, I'm why? I'm like, why is it that big of a deal? If I walk into the office right now to my job and they say, if I catch you gambling, betting on your job, you fired. I'd be like, all right, cool. If I'm making enough money, what is it? It's just the thrill of the bet itself for them people. I understand that. It's not about the money. It's about the thrill. But ain't nothing can be that thrilling to risk your millions of dollar contract for
Yeah,
no $250,000 bets. Come on now.
I feel like the players that are like lower, I think I think they in their mind is like they're betting because they want to make as much money as the people on their team. Cause you know how how like we go to work, right?
Right.
Right. Depending on where you're at on the ladder, like what your pay is, right? Like
Right. And you know
and
when
the
somebody
people
else
and the people on the same level as you should be making around the same amount as you.
you
But
would
like
think.
when you would hope, right? Unless that person got some crazy conditions. But like in the league, you can be a cornerback and you the backup, and you might think you as good as the starter, but the starter make like 20 million a year and you
Right.
make like 1 million.
So
You
you
know,
resort to gambling? So you just go gamble? Like, dude, he making $90 million more than me. I'm about to risk it all. Like, no, no
I
way.
don't know, man. It's crazy though. It's crazy, man. It's crazy the amount of players. I want to say that it's been happening probably for a long time, but now the league is better at catching it.
Right.
Just like
Oh, yeah.
technology is so advanced and stuff now. Like they could catch you. Like it's no way to hide it. Like your
Right.
name pops up somewhere along. But what I do want to ask you about is like how the leagues are doing the suspensions. So
Hmm.
I don't know exactly how the suspensions are working, but everybody isn't getting the same amount of suspension. So how
It's
you feel about that?
that's answering your question what you started with. It's based off of how much they're betting. Like how big the bets are is determining how big the suspension is, stuff like that, in that matter. Like how many bets they got caught with, like all together, to collectively determines how long you get suspended. Like, what was it? I don't know. What was it? The Browns? Whoever the running back was for which team? He got suspended for like X amount of time, but he could still play that year. Everybody else that been higher than him got a whole year suspension off.
Yeah. Oh, you might be talking about Buddy from the Colts. I think
Is it?
I think it might be the Colts.
I
If
feel
I'm
like
not
it's like the
mistaken.
Browns or the Bears or something. But like, yeah,
Oh, it
but
could have been. You talking about the guy that got the 6 games, right? He got
he got
six
the six
games.
games and everybody else got a year. Yeah, it was the dude from the Bears. Like, it was like,
Okay.
yeah, like yeah, it's just like so. I think it's based off of the volume of what you bet, and but so I mean, like they didn't get smart enough to say like, "Hey, man, let me pass you some money. How about you put the bet in for me?" Or I don't know if they get caught that way
No,
too.
but I'm pretty sure they end up doing that, but they probably track it like they
It
probably
comes back
track
to
it
them.
back,
It's just like, yeah,
right?
like,
Because it's kind of like it'll probably be like, oh well, you cash app me five whatever like
right.
500K, and then like I'm betting the whole 500K, and they see the cash app and it's linked to you, and like in the cash app comment, you like, yo,
You got to
this
find the
for the this
most.
for the gambling.
You got to go find the most distant cousin, the dusty cousin, and tell that guy, "Hey, bro, you have to hold it down."
Yo, you gonna have to. Hey, look, I need you to bet on us, man. But nah, they gotta. They like real talk. They gotta let that go, man. Like it's certain rules that's in like it's certain rules that's in like the league and stuff. And I know like everybody don't agree with all the rules and all that. And I'm not even one to here to talk about it, but like if your job got the rules, man, just do the rules your job got.
Yeah,
Or
I
you go
mean,
just get another job, man.
fight it on the side or something, bro. Don't do it while it's still in contract. That's the only thing for me. You
and
know it's
and
gonna
and
come.
and then a lot of them, it's like a lot of them be betting on their own teams and stuff. Like that's when it really get bad. Cause
Calvin
like
really bet on himself.
he did.
Like Calvin really
And
bet on himself with his name.
and that's just kind of like crazy. But then it is like a bit of like a double standard, I guess, because like the league got deals with like FanDuel and like
Right.
fantasy. So those are technically gambling, but it's
That would
like
be their legal route to gambling.
no, but no, the NFL players can't play fantasy football and stuff. That's
They keep
illegal for
fan
them
doing
too.
stuff like that too. Well, I mean that would make entire sense because I mean
They can. I think they can play fantasy, but they can't play like for the money round. They can only
yeah,
just
yeah,
play
yeah.
like for the free um one, I guess. But man, shout out to all those players, man. I hope y'all get back in the league, get y'all act together, man. You don't want to give up an opportunity, man, that a lot of us dream of, man. Especially not for something that small, man. So get back in the lab, go
It's
work
not
on your
worth it.
craft, get right. So let's talk about this D line thing, man. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, the NFC versus the AFC, right? So
Mm.
when we think of the best D lines in the league, who what's your top three teams that come to mind?
The best D lines, okay, so I got the 49ers.
I agree with that.
49ers got one of the best D lines. I also got I got the honestly, people I might get flack for this. I got the Steelers up there.
TJ Watt, okay.
We got TJ Watt still up there.
Cameron here, well, yeah.
Can't hate the boy. Can't hate the boy. Hate the game. And third is where it becomes tricky because then we start dibbling and dabbling here. Because like I got a lot of NFC over AFC right now, but Kansas City got a nice D line. The Eagles got a nice D
I
D
mean,
line.
Kansas City got Chris Jones, so he's like man, he's the difference maker on
Yeah,
that D
like
line.
yeah,
I
it
mean,
was hard right there. Like,
honestly, you know what? I'm gonna make a decision on camera as we talk about it because I don't have a decision. But when I'm thinking about the Eagles, right? The Eagles with Fletcher Cox, the
I
boys,
agree.
right? And then it's like, you know what? Like, I'm Bosh, you sure love the Dallas. I already believe in Washington because Chase Young coming back healthy. I think we one of the only teams that got a Pro Bowler at all four of our linemen at some
Right.
point, in their career. So, I'm there. The Giants look good.
The
We
Giants look
got
good.
Atlanta did a lot because Atlanta went and got Calais Campbell, right?
Right. I
Yeah,
mean, NFC West.
Atlanta got Calais Campbell to go along with along with Grady Jarrett. So you put them two together, and I know a lot of people gonna say a lot of people probably gonna say, Calais Campbell's a lot older, which he is. He is older, but he definitely can still help stop the run.
Yeah. By far.
Now, when we look at the AFC now, this one I start bringing up. The Jets with Quinnen Williams, them boys, they solid. The Jets solid all around defensively, but they solid up front. I like the Raiders with Max
The Raiders are
Crosby and
solid.
Chandler Jones.
The
Max
Raiders,
Crosby and Chandler Jones. Then you got the Chargers got Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack still.
now that sounds like a match made in heaven, but there's just something about like the way how the Chargers defense was structured last year. It just I'm not too sure because I had high hopes for them last year. I mean, Khalil Mack here now with Joey is it's gonna be a different game, but I gotta see something better because I already had him on a pedestal last year and I feel like I got left down. So all
Well,
great don't always equate to great teams. I just got to see what they really do together when they.
that's true. That's true. Because I was high on the Raiders last year too.
I think we all.
I was talking just D line wise. They D line. I expected Chandler Jones and Max Crosby to have double digit sacks. Like I thought
Right.
they both would have had at least like 12 to 15 apiece.
Yeah, the Raiders just fell completely off the earth.
But I think part of it is the rest of your position groups, right? Like who else is really contributing to help the D line stay? Playing D line is one thing, but if your back end can't hold up,
yeah, so
you can't get sacks.
what else you expect them to do, right?
Right. Then you got to try to be able to stop the run. That ended up being y'all Achilles heel. I mean, y'all drafted Marzi Smith, who he should help with the run stopping, but I really don't know how y'all gonna do that because Odigizua, I don't know. That's gonna be kind of.
I think they're talking about moving Odigizua to the other side, but we'll have to just see how that works, man, because this will be interesting.
But the Eagles got so much talent on their D line. It makes you want to say they gotta be the best. Then they got Jalen Carter in the draft and Nolan Smith. They got all these Georgia boys, and you want to say, man, they're gonna be that. But I don't see how the rotation works. They got too many starters and not enough. Like, what makes a good D line is when people can rotate when you get tired. You got a solid guy that comes in. Not necessarily a star guy, like he just comes in and does his job.
In a basketball term, you mean like a role player, like somebody that runs the intermediate, like
and comes in and like because they're not a star, they stick to the plan. They run the exact play. You know how stars be like, well, I ain't gonna run the exact play, but I know where I need to be at.
Right.
When you are backup, you're like, I'm gonna run the exact play. So when coach watch film, he can say, but look, Ricky is right there where he need to be at. That's what you can come in. Yeah. So like, man, I think it's a lot of good D lines. It's not a lot of teams that don't got somebody who is not named. I forgot about the Browns. Myles Garrett gonna be Myles Garrett.
And that's big dog Miles right there now.
So I'm feeling kind of, but and then the Browns got Zadarius Smith from Green Bay.
Oh, they got Zadarius Smith too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Yeah, so they
I must have missed.
the Browns up front might be pretty dangerous. They look kind of. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go with the NFC right now because I think the AFC teams got pass rushers, but they don't really got run stoppers. A lot of them can't stop the run. They players who can rush, they can get after the quarterback, but they can't buckle down and say, "Nah, you ain't running the ball on me today."
Right, and I'm glad that we just finally got somebody on like we got Mozzie Smith. Hopefully that can fix our problems with that running against us thing, because there's two things. If I know for certain that I said on this podcast a million times, if I see them throw that ball on 4 for 20 for 50 yards one more time, I'm gonna lose my brain cells. And if I see them run for 30 yards on a 4th and 3 or something like that again, I'm gonna lose my heart. Like, I need y'all to play some defense for me, and I think we got some pieces that fits into play there.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure we ain't left out no other teams that need to be mentioned, like D line wise, because
I really want to pull up the roster for Kansas City, because Kansas City looking pretty good defensive wise on that line, man. But
I mean, they
pretty good.
They drafted the buddy out of Purdue. I think he out of Purdue. Y'all let me know in the comments. But I think he out of Purdue.
Yeah, last time I checked, man, they look pretty. They look pretty saucy, man. I got him in the top 10, and that's.
But then will they be able to stop the run? See, Kansas City is a weird one, because the reason they don't worry about having to stop the run so much is because they score. So when they score and they up, teams got to throw the ball, and that's when your pass rushers get to eat.
Right.
But I mean, NFC wise, like toughness,
physicality.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the Colts. The Colts, they got Quiddy Pay and DeForest Buckner. My boy DeForest up front go hold it down. Now that's my guy right there. The Colts might. Colts
did a lot of rebuilding, man. So we'll see exactly what they got going on.
True. I mean, you know who we didn't talk about?
Who?
The Saints. And the Saints solid all around on defense, but
the Saints are normally solid on defense, really.
Yeah, and they get after the passer pretty good. Shout out to Cameron Jordan. Like they're like well coached defensively. Like they know what they're doing. Like
for years.
Now they're gonna see if they get the offense together. But if the offense plays better, the pass rushers get more opportunities to like really try to get after the quarterback. So
Cam getting old too, though. But
he is, bro.
Cam Jordan getting old too. Like
he is. I'm surprised he had double-digit sacks last season.
Yeah.
At his age, he was holding it down. But I really like what you brought up with Pittsburgh, because Cameron Heyward getting up there too. But TJ Watt just a freak, man. He just this dude, bro. Like his man, I don't know, man. I wonder how his mama like when she like go to sleep, if she be thinking like, if I had JJ and TJ.
Like that's crazy. And both of them lay down the boom too. Like
it's crazy. Like it's
what kind
like, yeah, man.
Drink, like
for real, like y'all, you raised them the right way or something, man. Like definitely.
Dukes, man.
Yeah, man. But I'm a roll with the NFC overall. So what's your final?
I got NFC, man. I got at least six NFC teams in my top 10 right now off the top of my head. So I put that over AFC for that reason, just alone.
And y'all let us know in the comments what y'all think. And keep in mind, we're gonna do the same thing. We gonna do all the position groups. We're gonna do all the players. So for all y'all AFC fans, just know when it come down to the offensive side, it's gonna be a different conversation. So y'all just stay tuned. We're gonna
Yeah,
do
man.
that. So we're gonna go ahead and transition into like just talking about the safety position and how the safety position don't seem to be as appreciated as certain other positions, right? When you look at, pay wise, the respect that the players get, linebackers, they're not scared to pay linebackers. They're not scared to pay defensive ends. Cornerbacks get a lot of money, but safeties kind of get lost in the sauce. So, like, what's your take on that?
Well, with you being an ex safety and Sean Taylor fan, how about I allow you to run this one here? Tell me what you think about that.
So like I understand the thought process. I think the thought process is based on ex players, right? So when you think of somebody like Deion Sanders, who's like the greatest cornerback ever, you think of everything that came with Deion, right? And
Right,
so your goal is to get the next Deion. And then you think about linebackers, right? You can say anybody from Mike Singletary to Ray Lewis. You just like, man, that defense when they had Ray Lewis, we got to find that again. You
right,
know, and it's not a lot of safety. It is safeties that get respect, but like they don't get as much respect when you think about like you can even bring up Ed Reed, right? Who a lot of
right.
people had as the greatest free safety ever. He was still on the team with Ray Lewis. Like
Like, yeah,
even
he's already
it's
second.
like, but Ray Lewis is there. That's Ray. Like, it's no
Right.
way around that. So I just think like, and the position I think is so it can be so it's so flexible now that you know the position isn't like singular, like how if you got a man to man corner, that's singular. Like I got him over there, he's gonna do his job. You got a pass rusher, it's like I don't care where I line him up on the field, he's gonna rush the pass. The safeties, sometimes they play deep, sometimes they come in the box, sometimes they line up in the slot, they're moving around, and so it's hard to kind of understand how much they're impacting the game because they're moving around so much. And like, yeah, they might not be the one making the tackle, but you know,
Right.
they gotta come up and tackle sometimes. Sometimes they gotta be back deep. Sometimes you got this. You might have Jalen Ramsey on the outside, but you might need somebody to get back over
Yeah.
the top.
You need
You
somebody to
know,
offset that jump for you, man. Like
yeah,
that's how plays always work, dude. And that's what we were talking about too. And by all means, nobody take this as an attack that I'm saying that safeties are role players. But you need somebody that's going to offset the play. Once the quarterback is taking a look at what he has available on the field, that makes it easier for the linebackers as well as it does for the free safeties for them to get to the quarterback because he doesn't have enough time to read like he's supposed to. Or if you don't have enough time to get to the quarterback like you're trying to, he's back there making sure that at least he can't get the ball down the field. So there's a
right,
lot of appreciation that goes offhand of the ball that safeties don't get a lot of shine as I believe they deserve to. In my opinion, safeties shouldn't get paid no less than cornerbacks, and that's just my opinion. I feel like they're just so important to the game itself. Like I just told you about somebody throwing the ball 4 for 20 for 50 yards. I need my free safety down there. Like I need
right,
him down there to defend me. Like that's a
right,
very like imagine that. Just imagine watching that play and the free safeties all the way down or in Albuquerque. Like I don't got time for
right.
that. But what's weird to me about it is the way how the game is working nowadays towards injury, right? So players aren't as durable as they used to be. So you see a lot of injuries start coming up as more like that could be debatable. Y'all can hit in the comment box below. Players ain't as durable as they used to be because they can't hit like they used to want to hit. It is what it is. But linebackers are one of the most they take one of the most hits aside from the linemen themselves on the field. So you would think that linebackers like running backs are taking the blunt of the hits wouldn't be paid as much because they're liable to get more damage or more wear and tear. So I still try to wrap my brain around that, although I do understand. I mean, we seen linebackers last here, that we seen TJ Watt and we seen them last for years, and they're still performing at the top of their game. So I get it on that aspect, but as a durability thing, it would seem like a safety and a cornerback would be more viable to say he's going to last longer, just based off of logic. But
I understand where you coming from with that. That's a weird thing
it
because
is a weird thing.
linebackers are so bigger than running backs. So I
Yeah,
think their size allows them to, and they don't like when a linebacker loses speed. It's not as obvious as when a running back loses speed, or like if a cornerback loses speed, you immediately see it, right?
right,
Like a linebacker, especially if you're a middle linebacker, you may be slower, but your instincts start to develop, right? So now you're thinking the game faster than you're actually moving, right? So you can make up for that. But like certain positions like running back, you can think as much as you want, but if you don't got the speed to hit the hole, you just don't got it no more.
right.
It's
It's
just
just
gone. It's just gone. So I think that plays a factor, but I understand what you're saying about that too. I agree with you that certain safeties can be just as important as cornerbacks. Like, one of our favorite players, for y'all who've been on the pod a while, we both love Buda Baker. Like, it's not many cornerbacks you could say were more important to their team than Buda Baker was to the Cardinals.
for the past 3 years.
Like he was that. Then you have like Derwin James, or like when the Honey Badger was on Kansas City, like
Right.
now that he's gone, you know he's gone. Or like Jesse Bates for the
Jesse
Bengals.
just left the
Like,
Bengals.
yeah, like that is huge because these players are so versatile. And even when you look at like the Legion of Boom, everybody bring up Richard Sherman, right? Everybody bring up Cam Chancellor. But if you ask Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor who's the most important person, they say Earl Thomas. He was playing free safety. They say he made their job easier to do. So like they give him the credit, even though we as the fans want to give them the credit. So I just think, man, I think the safety position is going to be on an uprising because of this, like Micah Fitzpatrick's, these people that we're naming. I think
Justin
safety.
Simmons, Jordan Poyer.
Yeah. Come on, Justin Simmons. Shout out to Justin Simmons. Like, and Jordan Poyer, that's my guy. And I think they're on an uptick now. I think teams are starting to realize, like, well, we need cornerbacks to defend against the pass, but having a good safety is as good as having a good cornerback because the safety is not only playing deep, he's covering where the cornerback is faltering at. So he's like working overtime, to try to make it all work out. So
and that's one of those things too. Like, if for a linebacker, it's not as obvious all the time. It's not as obvious all the time when they make a mistake as much as a safety does. If a safety makes a mistake, it's clear cut. You see it.
You the last line of defense, bro. They out of there now.
Before the play even done, but you see it mid play. But what is the safety doing? Like,
yeah, the man already ran past him. So, but yeah, like you right, linebacker. If a linebacker make a mistake, you can see it. But then you got the safety behind you to come and try to make the tackle and save the day. You're not always on the island like that. So, but linebackers. I think the linebackers that get paid, they also get paid for their mind as well as their skill. Like,
that's true.
The real good middle linebackers, they're the one calling plays. They're moving people around at the line of scrimmage. The Luke Kuechly's of the world. I wish he was still playing, but he's calling us stuff, pointing. He doing a lot, man. So I think that's where the discrepancy comes in at. But I'm with you that I think a really, really good safety is as important as a really, really good corner.
Yeah, I agree.
We just gotta see how that works. Now, linebacker, that's where the conversation is a little different. If you got a really, really good linebacker, because linebackers can be the first line of defense on a run play too. So like,
yeah, because once they get through that, especially if they shoot that breakaway speed too.
Yeah,
once they get
like
past
Fred.
that
yeah, they jump across the pile and everything, man. So, but now I think that's all I got, man. You got anything else?
No, I guess the only thing before we close, the last thing I want to say just off the top of the head, what do you think is the team to look out for AFC NFC coming up this year? Not even
Um,
Super Bowl, just who's the team to watch?
Team to watch AFC NFC. So who's my sleepers? My sleepers. NFC. NFC. I think I'm gonna roll with the Saints.
Okay,
I think the Saints can. I think the Saints got the personnel to do some. I think the Saints can make a jump. They can catch some people off guard that they ain't really paying attention. Um, my team. So in the AFC, my team would have been the Texans, but they fired. If they didn't fire their coach because they played a lot of tough games this year, and I
right.
think a lot of people didn't see that, but they definitely did. So I'm gonna switch my AFC pick. Uh, I'm gonna roll with. Man, I don't want to pick them. My AFC pick, I got to roll. I'm gonna roll with the Browns. I think the Brown. I think
Interesting. Okay.
Deshaun Watson will be decent this year. I don't think he's gonna be back to the level he was, but I don't think he's gonna be as bad as he was this year. And the way their defense look and the weapons they got on offense, I think they'll be in the fray. Like they'll be in the fray. They might upset some people.
And all right, I'm gonna tell you this because I wanted to say this earlier. So I'm glad that you said what you said just now because we both agree on the Browns. The Browns is the team to watch for me because I really want to see how that team comes together this year. Had a pretty solid draft. They made a lot of good moves. Defensive wise, they look good. They look great to me. I'm just interested to see if what Deshaun Watson can bring this year coming up. That's going to be really interesting for me. And for the NFC, um, I was gonna pick the Lions until like half the squad went up there and tried to gamble. So like now I'm trying to think now. So I can't pick
I
the
mean,
Lions anymore. But
the core people will still be
yeah,
there.
the
The core
core
will
people.
be.
Yeah, remember they lost the running back and all that, man. So I'm gonna say my team to watch on the NFC. I'm interested to see what the Seahawks do this year.
That's a good one.
I'm interested to see what the Seahawks do.
That's a
That
good
was my
one because they definitely build on what they did last year. They
yeah,
look like
man.
something. They look like they got better, and
They look
especially with the
worthy, man. They
draft.
look
Yeah.
worthy. But
So I got
that's all I had to say to them, boy.
okay, bet. So I got Saints, you got Seahawks, and then we both gonna rock with the Browns. Um, we know y'all let us know in the comments. We know the obvious one is the Jets, but we not here for all that. The obvious, we here to really talk, get inside the nitty gritty of some football, and we appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. This has been going for the gusto. It's your boy Boom Bam. I got my bro way too cool, man. We here. And y'all just stay tuned, man. We got content. We're gonna be back on having our content coming out, man. So y'all just stay tuned, man, and we appreciate everything, man. Peace.